To make the screen door, I'm using 1x2s, just construction lumber because it's for my camper, so it doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be functional. I'm starting off by cutting two pieces at 71 3/4 inches, which will be the height of the door. I also need 5 pieces at 31 1/4 inches, which are going to be all sorts of different cross members. I'm connecting all these pieces with half laps, which have to be marked out on all pieces on all ends. I also need one at 29 3/4 to 31 1/4 inches from the bottom of the longer legs. This is for a cross brace. And because this is for my camper, I also need another cross brace on the top side where the slider is going to be. Two of the shorter braces also need half laps in the middle because another short brace is actually going to connect these to make it stronger. Now for cutting out the half laps, I'm using the radial arm saw with a dado stack, which I found a lot easier than the table saw with the dado stack. Of course, you can always use a 2-cut method or any other way to notch out this joint. Here you get a better picture at how this looks with the slider and why I needed that extra cross brace on the top. Basically, these two help hold in the slider on the top and bottom, but I do need another brace to close off that opening when it's closed. So I just cut out another smaller brace here and did the same steps as before for cutting out the half laps. I did think about having one on either side for symmetry, but it's kind of hidden, so I decided just to have the one. Now to assemble it, I'm using glue and pin nails, although I'm just using the pin nails to help hold us together to speed up the assembly process. You could of course just clamp these and wait for the glue to dry. To add the slot for the screen spline, I decided to use a router with a straight edge, just using an 1/8 inch bit. But in the end, I think it would have been a better choice just to use the table saw and rip the grooves in. Although this did work, I think the table saw would have been easier and safer. To make the slider door function, I'm going to need a track for it, so I decided just to use some scrap 1x2 that I had left over, just cutting it to 24 inches first, and then ripping it in half. Now for the length, I went for 24, and in the end I think I should have just made it the whole door width. I think that would have looked better. With those two halves, I have to rip a groove in them. It's only about halfway up, and I'm using the saw blade for width. This is just enough space for the plastic piece to slide under, and also keep it in place so it doesn't pop off.